Seattle gets ready. It's going down. It's found hit Portland, California, everywhere. It's finally coming to Seattle, man. It's about King County. It's about to hit hard, guys. It's about to hit Washington. Uh, they doing what we've seen repetitively in D.C., Chicago, Memphis, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland. Everywhere you put it down, he comes. Chicago, New York, Boston. Seattle been sitting so pretty up in the Pacific Northwest with no major situations going on. And it seems like the mayor, Bruce Harrell's wrapping it up now. Everything's getting lined up. I guess they have to get ready for National Guard to come in. I guess it's a done deal. It's time for me to get out there and hit the streets, guys, and let y'all see what's happening in our city. Uh, this is crazy. Let's get ready. Without further ado, let's hear what the mayor of Seattle had to say. Bruce Harrell, without delay. What's going on?
All right, everybody's here. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. So just for logistics, I'm going to say a few words about what we're doing this morning with our executive orders. We have two that we're going to execute, and I'll say a few words, and then I'll pass it off to our director, Hamdi Mohammed, who will sort of serve as MC and introduced after she speaks our other speakers. And we're delighted to have so many council members here, elected leaders here, community leaders, representatives of people whose lives are directly affected by some of the craziness we're dealing with. And so let me dive into our executive order. So as have we seen in Portland and now in Chicago, President Trump is unilaterally ramping up his military occupation of American cities. He's even going as far as circumventing a court order from a judge that he appointed by attempting to send another state's National Guard to what they're quoting as war-ravaged cities, completely usurping local and state authority. This demonstrates to at least me, and I think to many of my friends standing with me, that he is showing no respect for the rule of law. He's making dangerous statements about American cities being quote-unquote training grounds for the military. This should cause all of us pause and concern. We cannot normalize this extreme action. This is not normal behavior. It's not rational behavior, particularly coming from the highest office in our country. And here we stand firmly against the militarization of our communities, the militarization here in Seattle of this approach. We cannot be underprepared by any stretch of the imagination at this critical moment when Trump is escalating his attacks on cities and carrying out what we believe is a cruel deportation agenda. And he's doing it with masked, ununiformed officers. That's why we are here today to sign two executive orders that are focused on protecting our local authority, our values, and increasing transparency in immigration enforcement actions. So the first executive order I'm signing today is focused on the preparedness and coordination in the event of unilateral deployment of the National Guard to our city. So basically what the first executive order will do, it will proactively evaluate and prepare all available legal options, ensuring readiness of a legal challenge in the event of an unlawful troop deployment. We are ready to fight in court. We have been successful. We monitor what's happening in other cities and other states, and we want to be ready. We will prevent the unlawful encroachment on the roles and jurisdictions of SPD, Seattle Police Department, by the federal government. Simply put, our police department will know exactly what they should do and should not do, and in no way will they enable this abuse of power from the federal government. We will establish a coordinated Seattle Resilience Task Force, which will establish clear lines of communication with Governor Bob Ferguson, the Attorney General Nick Brown's office, our City Attorney's office, and of course our community. That's going to be critical to be able to be nimble, efficient, and effective in our communications and get accurate information at a real-time basis.
My sound was too quiet.
Why is no one is supporting the administration? Is it all negative? Is everything against the? Is the administration doing anything positive? Um, what is your opinion?
Even at
This administration, is it that everything is horrible? What this administration is doing?
Unwavering support for First Amendment activities, protests, opposition, and direct the city to work with organizers to keep protests peaceful and minimize the potential for conflict. We want people to use their voice. That is part of our power. We also don't want to, as some would say, take the bait. We don't want to see anyone get in harm's way when we can't predict some of these abusive actions taken by our federal government. Now, we don't know when or if Trump will send a social media post that is targeting Seattle next. We monitor these communications, but these actions that I described in the first executive order will ensure that our city is prepared and resilient if he does. And we stand united in solidarity in this approach, and we do everything possible to protect our neighbors and our families. The second executive order I'm signing today is focused on strengthening services for our immigrant and refugee communities and increasing transparency and accountability around federal immigration enforcement. Now, as we've shared many times before, immigrants and refugees are part of the fabric of Seattle. What I like to say, part of our vibe, part of our rhythm, part of our family. We are proud to a city where over 140,000 residents were born in a different country. Literally proud of that. And we've all seen photos and videos of masked ICE agents literally kidnapping people from neighborhoods, from our streets and sidewalks with impunity. Masked agents operating without clear identification diminish transparency, they erode accountability, and they sow fear in our communities. They're waging a campaign based on fear and also creating a dangerous possibility for other bad actors.
Well, sir, I think that you're going down a very tight rope there. Um, that's not true. We in Washington celebrate immigration, immigrants, legal immigrants. We want to support everybody. We want everybody to have a better life, but we're not all in agreement with illegal aliens, illegal undocumented people that stand here and taking a lot of. We have a lot of people in Seattle that don't look for jobs. There's no one's talking about it. You're speaking a narrative now that you're walking a thin line between what you're saying. We do support community. We do support immigrants, but the ones that do it correctly, and we want to help the ones that's working on farming and agriculture and stuff of that nature. But everyone, the criminal element, all of this, we do not want them in our cities. Period. There are some people that's against this, but you got to be fair-minded and speak on both sides. Yes, there's a large population of Washingtonians that are immigrants, but they did it the right way, and they're not trying to go out and hurt people or sell drugs or do break the laws. So this is a very touchy subject. What is your opinion? Let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment.
So the second executive order that I'll execute will develop an ordinance in conjunction with the City Council to ban the use of face masks by law enforcement with limited exceptions in the city of Seattle, and will require all law enforcement officials to have visible emblems and badges that identify their agency. This legislation puts Seattle on track to be the first major city in the country to adopt a ban mask on federal officers. Secondly,
Again, you can't ban federal government. You could ban your state and local and county and city. You can't ban federal. Nothing. You're not. You can put it towards a state. You talking about the federal government. You're not the federal government. You're the state. Two different levels of power. So no, they can wear masks. This is the confusion. I don't want you citizens out there trying to grab the mask of what happened in Chicago. the mask of federal agents. Do not grab the mask of federal agencies because you heard about this executive order that the mayor is putting on. That's federal. Give you an example: the weed program, where we made weed legal in the state of Washington, but it's still not legal at the federal level. That's the state rule. But if you do something at the federal level, jobs, careers, everything could be taken away from you. So, two different levels of power. So, Washington citizens, be mindful of this. Do not think about this executive order. This is a state order, only state power. That's he can't control. The mayor of Seattle can't control the federal government. Period. So, do not get out here and talking about, well, that's against the law, and grab the mask of a federal agent. Now you have committed a federal crime. So be mindful of this executive order. It's a state order.
We will provide the Seattle Police Department will have clear guidance to its members on how to respond to 911 calls where masked or unidentified individuals are detaining people in the city. We want our officers to be fully trained on exactly what to do and try to leave, to the extent possible, little ambiguity in what should be done. Third, we are proposing an ordinance that would make it clear that city property will not be used by federal immigration authorities to stage for operations or to conduct those operations to the maximum extent permitted by law. Now, this is clearly intended to prevent ICE from using parking lots and similar spaces for staging, as it appears has been done in other cities like Chicago.
It's time.
You can't stop the federal government from working with the military, National Guards, and stopping them from using facilities like Camp Mary and other facilities here. So we got to be mindful of that. So that's what people got to realize.
So in closing my remarks, we're very proud that our Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs is meeting the urgency of this moment in our communities. Earlier this week, they hosted their first One Seattle Community Resource Fair, with more planned in the coming months, and I was very honored to be invited to that event, and I would say by all standards it was a remarkable success. Of course, our proposed 2026 budget significantly increased the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs by nearly 70%, so they can continue to provide legal services. Don't tell your other department heads we did that. Don't just keep that a secret. But they have to continue their work to provide legal services and workforce development, know your rights training, and other resources. And with that, I present to you our Director of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, Hamdi Mohammed. Thank you.
The mayor is doing a great thing for the city of Seattle. I just don't want no residents, no city citizens of the city of Seattle or Washington get caught up in whenever this federal government decides to come into Washington State. Please do not grab the mask of a federal agent like happened in Chicago. I think in Portland also, Portland, Oregon. Do not do that. Do not get yourself up in a criminal act. Watch the police. Do you see the police in Chicago grabbing the mask of federal agents? No, you do not. Now, that some of the stuff he's saying, proposed, you got to listen to the language of the mayor, what he's saying, proposing the executive order. That doesn't mean it's going to pass. He's proposing, he's writing an executive order and proposing it to the governor to see if it'll get approved. Or some executive order that might have under his control at the city he can push. But other things, everybody's not in agreement. He got to propose to the city council. There's all kind of things you got to go through. So you got to be mindful of language. You got to be mindful of rhetoric. I like the mayor, but you got to understand certain things. I don't want no Seattle citizen out there pulling the mask of a federal agent if they decide to come here in the city, Western Washington. I want you safe. I want you sound. I want you. What is your opinion? Leave your opinion down below. Let me know what you think so far. Let's continue.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hamdi Mohammed, and it's such an honor to be the director of Seattle's Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. I want to begin today by thanking the advocates who are in this room and the advocates in our community and our community leaders, those who are leading our immigrant refugee organizations, who continue to express fear and the needs of our community with both courage and clarity.
Um, Guys, I'm gonna cut this short because I'm slowly getting tired of the word community because they're using this word in a way. When I went to college and I went back to college in the recent years, and I noticed it was an overwhelming of the word community. When I went first to college, we used society, American society. These words are meaning something, and people are using it for different agendas and different purposes. They get you in the routine of saying certain words. I'm gonna say the word that I grew up with, which was American society, the society at large, or other communities under a large society. Uh, that's the that's what it is. But now we're pushing this word community at a bigger level. No, it's society. It's the Western Washington Society. It's the Western Washington State Society of Washington State. It's a larger place. That's a smaller group or a community, you could say, for that. But when you talk about a general Washington, that's not a community. This is a city. It's a state. It's a larger population. It's a larger populace. You got to use the right terms.
I know that the mayor listens deeply to their voices and takes them seriously. I've been in the rooms where we have had roundtable discussions with our local organizations and leaders. With his legal background, Mayor Harrell, and steadfast leadership, he continues to use every tool in Seattle's toolbox to protect our residents, to uphold Seattle's values, and I thank him for it. And I also thank the city council members who are here today who also do that work in partnership with him. I want to acknowledge that the city of Seattle consistently and proactively has been responding over the last few years to ensure that we are prepared for moments like this. From the anticipation of the threats of migrants being bused to Seattle from Texas, the city has stood together firmly and has coordinated, and to make sure that federal actions are not dividing and intimidating our city, that Seattle remains united, principled, and grounded.
What are you talking about? This is the thing I'm talking about. You see the lady in the background. Her eyes is moving every which way, but the right way. She's all over. I'm watching her behavior. She's just nodding, but with the colorful orange or reddish shirt. Watch her back in the background. She's
Look, immigrants and refugees are not outsiders to Seattle. We heard that from Mayor Harrell. They are our neighbors. They are the small businesses that help our economy thrive. They are our essential workers. I would say they are the heart of Seattle's growth and resilience.
not true. This state is, I know for sure, it has a lot of tax dollars. A lot of tax dollars given out for small businesses to sustain itself. There is not a large amount of revenue that's coming in from these communities. These small business are there are a lot of people living off of programs and dollars and things giving out tax dollars that's generating opportunities, and they bolster them up as and they take the income in and say they made this much income. No, you gave them $1 million. They put it out. They could drop a certain price, and they make more value on that. And then they open up stores and move stores around, community warehousing, all type of operations are going on to produce certain dollars, and they get more money from the federal government, from the state government. So we're living a lot of tax dollar system here. So I don't like the idea that people preaching the, this narrative that minorities, immigrants are giving a large major amount of money to the state city. No, we're doing a lot of work with churches, colleges, nonprofits, and other things. It's bolstering, and definitely the blood of it is the tax dollars that's pushing these programs. So the truth is, no, I disagree with that statement. It's the state that's generating a lot of these support and being the foundation, the protection to these organizations, these small businesses. A lot of them are getting funding. That is the truth.
At the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs, our focus in the days ahead will be to focus on these four key areas. One, to coordinate with local advocates and community organizations and to keep working on making sure what we are doing is rooted and uplifting the lived experience of those in our community and ensuring that we do everything we can help protect them and responding to emerging needs. Two, it will be working across all city departments so that our actions remain aligned, coordinated, and that we do it in a way that is compassionate. Three, we'll continue to expand community education and know your rights initiatives in multiple languages so that every family knows where to turn when they need protection and that they know what the existing laws are. When people feel empowered and they know their rights, they can then continue to participate in our community, and we want to continue to see that. Lastly, we'll continue to build trust and transparency to ensure that our immigrant and refugee communities continue to see Seattle as a true welcoming city. Seattle will continue to lead with heart, coordination, and courage, and will stand firm for dignity, safety, and justice for all of the people who call this beautiful city home. I think
That's such a beautiful utopia land. That's such some lovely words she wrote down and make you feel some feel good words. But listen what the mayor said earlier. He's giving this office, this immigration, more money, tax dollars. Okay, where's the state getting this tax dollars at? We're losing companies, businesses are leaving the state of Washington, like California. Look at downtown Seattle. Look what's going on. Look at Western Washington. Look at the major cities. A lot of businesses are leaving and not coming back. A lot of these so-called businesses are, if you go back and look at their records, I bet they get some kind of form of tax dollars through programs, through nonprofits that's bolstering them up. Like he just said, he's helping them get generate funding to give to this office of immigrants, whatever this organization is, to help the immigrants. All that is beautiful, but where is this money coming from? Where is it come from? Tax dollars? Okay, when the tax dollars, what we asked a while ago, that the federal government give $5 million to the city of Seattle. So you got to think about where all this tax dollars coming from. All this before this is before Bruce Harrell was the mayor. There's a lot of deficits that's happening. We have rainy day funds, we have all kind of programs, but come on, where all this money is coming from? The state requests from the federal government. What happened to okay? Let's go to college students. What happened to some of these colleges right now? Look at the colleges. They're losing their programs dollars. Trio is leaving schools. Is helping minority kids that's from the state of Washington. Kids that's people of color, BIPOC. They're losing different programs that help kids to be successful in college that's born and raised here in Washington. These programs are going away, but you donate money to this immigrant program, but look at the colleges around. Go look at the budget. The federal government take away from that. Want the state to step in and give funding to these programs that's helping local Washingtonian kids and Western Washington kids that's here. But we're looking at all these immigrant programs and what are they producing when our own Washingtonian kids are not getting support at colleges and community colleges and technical programs. Let's be fair minded. Let's open up the bigger picture. Let's open up this narrative. I don't mind helping people, but let's do not manipulate and give all these beautiful utopian words and pictures and think about the Washington citizens. We got to help everybody, but we first got to help the Washington State citizens. And we hearing about funding being cut, $30 billion over here, this institution being reduced, but you're giving money to this program. But when local institutions that help local college students and also help immigrants, you're reducing revenue. So miss me with that this fantasy world. I think Harold's doing a great thing. The mayor Bruce Harold's doing some good things, but I think some things need to be addressed too. I'm gonna stop this video right here. Leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think below. I would like to hear your opinion. I'll check your comments. If it's fair-minded, I'll respond back. If it's on some emotional, uh, I will not respond. I will just always give a thumbs up because you did comment, you did engage. I give you a thumbs up for engagement. But outside of that, I would not comment if I'm dealing with emotion, not somebody that's thinking. Give me some facts, content. Give me some things I could respond to. I don't want curse words. I don't want disrespect. On this reaction video, I haven't did anything disrespectful. I haven't commented about any particular group. I talk about issues, talk about taxes. I talk about the statements that these people are making and the Bruce Harrell, the mayor of Seattle, made. I talked about the administration, but I'm not engaging in to be cruel to anyone, to be facetious or negative anyone. I'd like to hear your opinion. Leave one comment down below, and I will respond back. Let's continue on this.
Thank you all for being here today. And now I have the honor of introducing One America's Executive Director, Roxana Maruzzi.
Oh, here she goes.
Thank you so much, first Mayor Harrell, for your leadership, and Director Mohammed for all you've done to bring our community together and bring these executive orders into our city. My name is Roxana Naruzzi. I'm the Executive Director of One America. For those of you who don't know, One America is an immigrant power building organization working to create a thriving home for immigrant and refugees here in Washington State.
All right, I'm done. Another nonprofit that takes tax dollars. Yeah, we're gonna be done with this. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Um, and subscribe. It's amazing.